What's up guys? Welcome to part 6 of What If I Reincarnated as Yamamoto Genryusai in Naruto, and saved the Uzumaki clan. If you like my videos, please for me, give this one a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and share it with your friends. Without wasting more of your time, on the sensei signing in. But, uncle, if we were to capture all the tailed beasts, we would inevitably make enemies of the entire ninja world, Mitsuo said, his tone laced with concern and uncertainty. He knew that the tailed beasts were incredibly powerful and sought after by many, but the idea of capturing them all and incurring the wrath of so many others was daunting. In the face of strength, everything else becomes useless, Kagutsuchi mused, his voice heavy with contemplation. He turned his attention to Mitsuo and posed a question. Tell me, why is it that no one dared to challenge Hashirama or show any signs of aggression until he passed away? After a moment of contemplation, Mitsuo spoke up, his voice filled with admiration. It was truly awe-inspiring to witness Hashirama's incredible strength and the way he effortlessly played with the tailed beasts as if they were mere toys. It's no wonder that no one dared to make enemies with him, and that his mere presence was enough to deter any ninja village from attacking Konoha, or even each other. The legendary prowess of Hashirama, coupled with his mastery over the powerful tailed beasts, made him a force to be reckoned with, and his reputation as the strongest shinobi of his time was well deserved. Correct, exclaimed Kagutsuchi. Now, tell me, is it impossible for me to achieve it? No uncle, absolutely not. I never doubted your strength, replied Mitsuo. Kagutsuchi nodded, satisfied. As you know, we have a lot of work to do, he said. Firstly, we must select direct lineage members of the Uzumaki family and teach them the secret art that I gave you. This art is powerful and must be kept within the family. Secondly, we must create 9 new sealing tools to capture all the tailed beasts. That will ensure the strength, safety and security of our clan. Mitsuo listened intently, knowing the importance of this task. And the time limit? He asked. 6 years, replied Kagutsuchi firmly. It may seem like a long time, but the success of our clan depends on it. Failure is not an option. I understand, uncle, said Mitsuo, determination in his voice. I will do everything in my power to meet these goals and exceed your expectations. You can count on me. Kagutsuchi smiled, his faith in Mitsuo unwavering. I have no doubt that you will, Mitsuo, he said. Mitsuo bowed his head in acknowledgement of his uncle's praise. It is an honor to serve the Uzumaki family, uncle, he said, his voice brimming with sincerity. Mitsuo departed from Kagutsuchi's residence, and Kagutsuchi himself remained still, deep in meditation on his Ryujin Jaka. 4 hours later, he was alerted by a notification. Ding. Congratulations on increasing the template by 0.01%. Arching his eyebrows, Kagutsuchi inquired of the system, wasn't my template supposed to increase by 0.1% every time I meditated? Ding. You had previously trained and lived for 100 years. But after obtaining the template card and integrating the power of Yamamoto Genryusai, it is no longer possible to increase your template at the same rate. Upon hearing the system's explanation, Kagutsuchi simply nodded. The following morning, Kushina appeared at the entrance of Kagutsuchi's humble abode, her steps resonating with determination as she made her way towards the training grounds. Standing before the wise old master, her voice echoed with a sense of purpose as she spoke. Grandpa, I have arrived, and I am fully prepared to begin my training under your tutelage. Draped in a classic Japanese training costume, the seriousness on her face added to her already adorable demeanor. Starting today, I will personally train you, declared Kagutsuchi. But first, go and run 10 laps around my house. Kushina, being a sensible young girl, did not complain and began running dutifully as instructed. Upon completing the 10 laps, she stood before Kagutsuchi, panting heavily but determined to begin her training. Kagutsuchi then tossed a sword in front of her and instructed her to perform the basic sword techniques he was about to demonstrate. With precise movements, Kagutsuchi demonstrated the proper form, which Kushina followed diligently. Whenever she made a mistake, Kagutsuchi would gently correct her and guide her towards the correct technique. As the hours ticked by, the sun gradually rose higher in the sky, and before long, it was noon. Kushina, drenched in sweat and slightly out of breath, stood before Kagutsuchi. Noticing her fatigue, Kagutsuchi spoke up. Go and refresh yourself, then we'll have lunch. It's already prepared. Kushina immediately made her way to the bath, and after half an hour, the two sat down for a meal. Following their lunch, Kagutsuchi instructed Kushina to rest, recognizing how hard she had worked. As a member of the Uzumaki clan, her body was capable of recovering quickly, and she slept soundly until evening. When she awoke, Kagutsuchi began teaching her Taijutsu, but this was no ordinary training. Utilizing chakra as a foundation, Kagutsuchi taught her the white hits technique, as it was impossible to learn the Ryatsu method in the ninja world as advised by the system. As night descended, Kagutsuchi instructed Kushina to refine her chakra before retiring for the evening. He then made his way to his own house, settling in to meditate on his Ryujin Jaka. Teaching Kushina during the day and meditating at night became a routine for Kagutsuchi. 4 ninjas were swiftly jumping from tree to tree, traveling at a very fast speed towards the direction of the Uzumaki country. "Tsukumo-senpai, do you think it would be a good idea for us to go to the Uzumaki country?" asked Jiraiya. "If the fire god decides to strike us down, the ninja world would lose a handsome and powerful toad immortal like myself." Jiraiya continued to strike some peculiar poses as he spoke. Orochimaru looked at Jiraiya as if he didn't know who he was, while Tsunade approached Jiraiya and punched him in the face, sending him flying and causing him to crash to the ground. All 3 of them continued moving without waiting for Jiraiya, but he soon caught up and joined them within a few minutes. Just as he was about to speak, Tsunade cut him off and said, "Bastard, if you say something like that again, I'll send you to meet my grandfather." Jiraiya, with a look of fear on his face, stopped speaking, and the journey continued in silence. After some time, all 4 of them reached the vicinity of the Uzumaki country, and eventually arrived at the gate. As soon as they arrived, they were surrounded by the ninja of the Uzumaki country. The Uzumaki country ninja asked in a cold tone, "Ninja from the Konoha village, what are you doing here?" Upon seeing the cold attitude of the Uzumaki country ninja, Jiraiya spoke up. "It's already been 6 years since that incident happened. Even we in Konoha suffered. Can't we forget our hatred? Stop talking nonsense and state your purpose," said the leader. Tsukumo sighed after hearing the words of the Uzumaki Jonin, but he stated his purpose of coming there and said, "We came here to meet the Uzumaki cage on behalf of the Konoha village." "Captain, we must not allow them to enter the Uzumaki village," said one of the present ninja. "No, we can't do this. Neither the Fire Country nor the Konoha village have blocked people from the Uzumaki village to do business in their territory or banned people from entering their territory. So, morally and politically, we can't stop them," said the leader. Then, the leader turned towards the envoy from Konoha and said, "We will inform the clan head of your arrival. When he wants to meet you, you will be informed. Till then, you can stay in any hotel or inn." As Tsukumo and the rest of the group nodded in agreement to the leader's words, they were granted permission to enter the Uzumaki village. As they stepped into the village, they were met with a sight that amazed them. The Uzumaki village had grown even more prosperous than before, and some would argue that it was on par with, if not better than, Konoha. It was no secret that the village had become the largest supplier of explosive tags, giving them the ability to control the price of these valuable commodities at their own discretion. The group couldn't help but marvel at the Uzumaki village's growth and success. The leader of the ninja, who had been at the gate of Uzumaki village, knocked on the door to Uzumaki Fusao's office. Fusao, who was the new Kage and clan head of the Uzumaki village and family, was sitting and working inside. Fusao looked at the leader and spoke, "Mitsuda, what brings you here?" "Clan head, the envoys from Konoha village have come to meet you. I have sent them to live in a hotel for now." Replied Mitsuda. "Okay, inform the elders about it, and also bring all of them to the meeting room. Additionally, please bring all the envoys from Konoha village there," said Fusao. After 1 hour, everyone assembled in the meeting room of the Uzumaki village. Fusao was sitting in the center, and the elders were sitting in a U-shape around Fusao. Tsukumo, Orochimaru, Jiraiya, and Tsunade were sitting opposite Fusao. The elders were different from before. Every elder was around 40 years old. After Mitsuo retired from the position of clan head and made his son Fusao the new clan head, the elders also retired, and new elders were appointed. "So, what is your purpose for coming to the Uzumaki village?" asked Fusao. "We came here to formally invite the Uzumaki village to participate in the Chunin exam held in Konoha village," said Tsukumo while handing over the scroll to Fusao. "This is an official letter from the Hokage-sama. Impossible. Do you think of us as fools? Why would we send our children to your village just to let them die?" said one of the elders. "Clan head, I also disagree. We shouldn't trust Konoha village," another elder voiced his dissatisfaction. "We will answer you after discussing it thoroughly. You may rest in the hotel," said Fusao. "No need, father. We will go to Konoha." At this time, a beautiful girl with red hair entered the meeting hall. She is none other than Kushina. "Don't be impulsive, Kushina. After discussing, we will reach a decision. Going to Konoha is not that safe," said Fusao in a soft tone to his daughter. "I know what you are thinking. Father, but this is what Grandpa told me. He said if Konoha really dared to do anything, then this time it will not be as simple as destroying the infrastructure of Konoha, she said with momentum in her words. When everyone from Uzumaki family heard Kushina speaking Grandpa, they understood it was Kagutsuchi, as Kushina only calls Kagutsuchi Grandpa, and she teases Mitsuo by calling him Small Grandpa. Fuzo then looked towards Tsukumo and the rest of the group, his gaze determined, and spoke with conviction. Okay, we shall indeed participate in the upcoming Chunin exam. However, before we proceed, we must finalize our selection of candidates. I kindly request all of you to be patient as we work towards this crucial decision. Tsukumo, acknowledging the importance of the matter, responded, yes, we understand the need to finalize the candidates promptly. I urge you to accomplish this task by tomorrow, as we are scheduled to depart for Konoha. The Chunin exam is a mere 4 days away, leaving us no choice but to depart tomorrow. Assuring his team, Fuzo stated confidently, do not worry. By tomorrow, we will diligently select all the candidates and be fully prepared to depart at a moment's notice. Fuzo then shifted his focus towards Mitsuda and directed him, Mitsuda, I entrust you with the responsibility of showcasing the wonders of the Uzumaki village to our esteemed guests. Mitsuda, assuming his role with enthusiasm, replied, yes, please follow me. Tsukumo nodded in approval, acknowledging Mitsuda's offer, and added, please lead the way. With their objectives set, Tsukumo, accompanied by Jiraiya, Orochimaru, and Tsunade, gracefully exited the meeting room, their minds filled with anticipation and determination. Shortly after their departure, Mitsuda redirected his attention towards Tsukumo and the others, his voice firm yet respectful, as he made his request. I kindly request that you remove the ninja forehead protectors, my honored guests. Jiraiya, perplexed by the request, interjected, but why? The forehead protectors proudly symbolize our identity as esteemed members of the prestigious Konoha village. We wear them with pride and honor. Mitsuda, his gaze unwavering, explained his reasoning. I understand the significance your village places on the forehead protectors. However, the very reason I request their removal is because they identify you as members of the Konoha village. I must be honest with you, the people of the Uzumaki village hold no respect for your village. Instead, they feel a sense of disgust. If you wish to freely explore the Uzumaki village without encountering disdain on the faces of its inhabitants, I advise you to remove your forehead protectors. They still hate us this much, said Jiraiya. Mitsuda spoke up, his voice tinged with bitterness. The attacks from other major villages were not a surprise to us. We knew that they feared our sealing ability and our enemies, especially because we are allies with Konoha village. If we had chosen to sell the sealing techniques and send ninja to their village to become Jinchuriki, they wouldn't view us as enemies. But the cruel irony is that Konoha village, whom we believed to be our ally, betrayed us. It hurt the most. What do you think? We could have achieved this level of prosperity before. It's not that we couldn't have. However, because we treated Konoha as our ally, we refrained from selling many explosive tags to other villages and fulfilled our obligations as allies. Yet, Konoha abandoned us without a second thought. If it hadn't been for Elder Kagutsuchi, we would have perished. So, this deep-rooted hatred cannot be resolved so easily. He explained, his voice filled with a mix of frustration and sorrow. After Mitsuda's passionate words, a heavy silence fell over the group. Tsukumo spoke up, his voice filled with understanding. We comprehend your point, and I must admit that I cannot change the past. However, we are sorry. We cannot remove our ninja forehead protectors. They are an integral part of our identity. Instead of evading the hate, it's better for us to confront it, he stated, offering a sincere smile. As you wish, Mitsuda replied. With that, he took them all on a tour of the village, showing them its various aspects. As Mitsuda had predicted, upon seeing the Konoha forehead protectors worn by their visitors, the locals couldn't hide their disdain. Nevertheless, they maintained a basic level of decorum. At that moment, Mitsuo found himself engrossed in fishing by the peaceful seashore. Suddenly, his tranquil state was interrupted by a familiar voice calling out, Small Grandpa, there you are. I've been searching for you everywhere. Mitsuo's face twitched, a mixture of annoyance and affection. He couldn't help but respond, Kushina, my dear, how many times must I kindly ask you not to refer to me as Small Grandpa? Alas, my words seem to fall on deaf ears. And I've told you many times that since you're weaker than Grandpa, you're Small Grandpa, retorted Kushina, hanging around Mitsuo's neck with a playful smile. So, what is it that brings you here, my dear small granddaughter? Mitsuo asked warmly, a smile gracing his face. Kushina responded with excitement, oh, you won't believe it. A ninja team from Konoha arrived today. extending an invitation to our Uzumaki village to participate in the Chunin exam. And guess what? Grandpa has graciously agreed to let the younger generation take part in it. He specifically asked me to deliver the news that you will be the leading representative from my Uzumaki village. Mitsuo's smile widened as he replied, well, if Uncle has given his approval, then there's no problem at all. In fact, he even granted me permission to meet my elder sister by sending me to Konoha. I couldn't be happier. Okay, let's go and meet Uncle, said Mitsuo. Do you want to come with me to meet your beloved grandpa? Asked Mitsuo, extending an invitation to Kushina. Her face brightened up as she replied, yes, I am also excited to see grandpa. He called me earlier. With enthusiasm, Mitsuo and Kushina set off towards Kagetsuchi's house. Meanwhile, Kagetsuchi remained seated on a chair, deep in meditation, focusing his thoughts on Raiwagen Jaka. Ding. Congratulations on increasing the template by 0.01%. Gradually, Kagetsuchi opened his eyes and addressed the system with a calm tone. System, show me my character panel. Ding. Generating panel. Name, Uzumaki Kagetsuchi. Template, Yamamoto Genryusai, 60.3%. Strength, Super Cage level Invincible. Props, Raiwagen Jaka. Ability, Fire Control. Kagetsuchi nodded in satisfaction, pleased with his current progress. Suddenly, a voice resonated from outside, announcing the arrival of a familiar person. Grandpa, I have arrived. It was Kushina, who couldn't contain her excitement and proclaimed her presence even before stepping foot inside Kagetsuchi's residence. Kagetsuchi's face lit up with joy upon seeing Kushina enter his house. Playfully, he flicked her forehead and spoke affectionately, you are not a child anymore, but you still behave like one. Pouting, Kushina responded, that's only when I'm around you, and I will forever be your little child, won't I? Yes, you will always be a child to me, Kagetsuchi affirmed, a warm smile adorning his face as he gently patted Kushina's head. At that moment, Mitsuo arrived, joining the gathering. With a touch of concern, he addressed Kagetsuchi, Uncle, you have spoiled her too much. She doesn't even listen to anyone except you. I don't know what will happen in the future and who will marry her. Such a girl, with a fiery temper. At that precise moment, Fuzo gracefully stepped into Kagetsuchi's house and respectfully bowed towards him, addressing him as Great Uncle. Kagetsuchi acknowledged Fuzo's gesture with a nod and inquired, have you allowed them to explore the vast Uzumaki village? Fuzo replied affirmatively, saying, yes, despite enduring a fair amount of disdain, they persisted and ventured throughout every corner of the Uzumaki village. It's understandable, as they must have been assigned a mission to monitor all the developments in the Uzumaki village. For a ninja, their mission takes precedence even if they have to endure abuse along the way, said Kagetsuchi. He continued, what about the other candidates who are accompanying Kushina to Konoha village? There are two individuals, a boy named Uzumaki Hiroshi and a girl named Uzumaki Sakura. Both of them have also been trained as future Jinchuriki. They excel in sealing techniques and fire-based secret techniques, replied Fuzo. Kagetsuchi, after a contemplative pause, nodded approvingly and further inquired about their prowess. Tell me, Fuzo, how do they fare in terms of strength? With undeniable prowess, they each emerged victorious in one-on-one combat against an elite Shunin melee 2 months ago. Moreover, if they were to unite their formidable abilities, they possess the capability to vanquish even a highly skilled special jonin. Fuzo confidently replied. Excellent, Kagetsuchi expressed, a glint of pride evident in his eyes. His words resonated with optimism. It appears that the upcoming generation shows tremendous promise. Mitsuo and Fuzo smiled upon hearing Kagetsuchi's words. Kagetsuchi then turned his gaze towards Kushina and spoke, now, I give you a crucial task. Conquer both Hiroshi and Sakura individually in intense one-on-one battles, and subsequently challenge and triumph over them when they combine their forces. Given your formidable Jonin level prowess, this endeavor should present no challenge for you. I will definitely complete this task, Kushina replied firmly. Mitsuo and Fuzo, recognizing the strategic intent behind Kagetsuchi's directive, nodded in unison. They comprehended that Kagetsuchi aimed to amplify Kushina's reputation, ensuring her indisputable position as the future clan head while simultaneously cultivating unwavering loyalty among their ranks. Then, Kagetsuchi called for Kushina and gently placed his hand on her forehead. As soon as his hand made contact with Kushina's forehead, an immense surge of fiery ryutsu emanated from him, causing almost everyone in the Uzumaki village to sense it. Even Tsukumo and his team, who were currently gathered in a room conversing, could feel the overwhelming spiritual pressure. Orochimaru remarked, there's no need to confirm if that old monster is still alive. This level of pressure can only come from him. All the individuals in the room nodded solemnly, their eyes filled with a mixture of awe and apprehension. When they were dispatched to the Uzumaki country, they were given 3 primary missions. The first was to extend invitations to the people of Uzumaki country for the upcoming Chunin exams. The second objective was to meticulously document the progress and advancements in the Uzumaki country. Lastly, and most importantly, they were tasked with verifying whether Kagetsuchi was still alive. Within Kagetsuchi's house, he withdrew his hand from Kushina's forehead and spoke, "I have imbued my power within you. Whenever you face danger, this mark will automatically activate to protect you." In that moment, a small crimson vortex materialized on Kushina's forehead, serving as a visible symbol of the seal. After talking for few more minutes, Kushina left Kagetsuchi's house and went to complete the task given by Kagetsuchi to defeat Uzumaki Hirashi and Uzumaki Sakura. After Kushina left, Mitsuo and Fuzo stayed to talk about future of Uzumaki village. "So, what is the current situation of Ninja World?" asked Kagetsuchi. "After we started selling explosive tags, the number of wars between small countries have increased, some even perished in those wars. And now it seems the Rain Village have accumulated enough power, as they are constantly conflicting with Konoha as if deliberately trying to find fault and start a war," said Fuzo. "And I believe that the main reason why Konoha is conducting exam is to show their formidable power to the whole ninja world," added Mitsuo. Kagetsuchi nodded after hearing the words of Mitsuo and Fuzo. "You are right about this, and I believe that after the Chunin exam it is more likely that Second Ninja World War will officially begin." Then Kagetsuchi continued, "So start preparing from now, although I will make move to capture all the tiled beast. But you have to show me the power accumulated by the Uzumaki village. I don't want to see such a scene again where the whole Uzumaki family is supported by only one person." "Yes, uncle, we will not disappoint you. We will show the results of our cultivation and accumulation of the resources. You just have to order and we are willing fight wherever you point us," said Uzumaki Mitsuo. "Yes, Grand Uncle, we will prove to you that even without your help at least we can make any major village suffer heavy losses," said Fuzo. I like both of yours enthusiasm and confidence. Okay, you may leave now as you have to prepare for tomorrow's tomorrow. Kushina with the Mitsuo will be departing for Konoha," said Kagetsuchi. Both Mitsuo and Fuzo nodded and left house. On the same day in the evening, the news of Kushina defeating two rising genius of Uzumaki family spread like a wildfire in this battle. However, Kushina never used the secret technique of fire. She simply defeated both Hiroshi and Sakura, and Kushina won just by using her proficiency in white hits. Hatak Tsukumo and his team also learned a feat when they heard that defeated to ninja who at the very least have a strength of elite Chunin, and they are sure that Kushina is definitely have strength of elite Jonin. Next morning, Tsukumo and his team assembled at the gate of the Uzumaki village, waiting for the Uzumaki village team to arrive. Finally, after a half-hour wait, the team from the Uzumaki village arrived, led by Mitsuo. Following them were participating ninjas Kushina, Sakura, Hiroshi, and the elders of the Uzumaki village. Tsukumo asked, "Shall we begin our journey?" "Wait a minute, my father is coming with my grandfather," said Kushina. Tsukumo simply nodded, and at that moment Kagetsuchi arrived with Fuzo. Kagetsuchi stood there quietly, not releasing his Ryatsu, yet everyone could feel the pressure in his presence. He stepped forward and handed a sword to Kushina, saying, "This sword was my companion for a long time during my youth. Today, I am giving it to you. I hope you will cherish it properly." Kushina accepted the sword from Kagetsuchi and replied, "Don't worry, Grandpa. I will honor this sword, and with me, it will become famous. I promise you that." Kagetsuchi nodded and then looked at Sakura and Hiroshi. "Now go and let the whole ninja world know how powerful the younger generation of the Uzumaki village is," he said. "And you don't have to fear anything. Do what you want. As long as you don't cross the line, I will be your biggest supporter. No one in the entire ninja world would dare to touch you. If they do, there will be only one outcome, and that is death," Kagetsuchi said in a commanding tone. Hearing Kagetsuchi's words, Sakura and Hiroshi were filled with enthusiasm. After this, Mitsuo led the participants along with Tsukumo and his team, and they set off for Konoha. They encountered no problems on the way and moved without any hindrance. The main reason for their smooth journey was Orochimaru, who always took the lead and swiftly dealt with any fools who tried to hinder their path, such as bandits. Finally, after traveling for a day, they arrived at Konoha village. Tsukumo said, "Follow me. I will take you to meet the Hokage." Mitsuo nodded and followed Tsukumo to the Hokage building, and then to the Hokage's office. Tsukumo knocked on the door, and a mature voice from inside said, "Come in." Tsukumo entered with everyone, and inside the Hokage's office, Hiruzen sat in the middle, surrounded by key figures of Konoha. Hiruzen looked at the people from the Uzumaki village and smiled, saying, "I am very grateful that you accepted our invitation and came to participate in the Chunin exams." In the corner, Danzo huffed, "It seems you have a problem with our arrival," Mitsuo said, releasing his cage-level chakra. As in Uzumaki, his chakra was even more potent, causing cracks in the furniture present in the Hokage's office. And that concludes part 6. The story will continue in the next part. If you liked what you watched, let us know by giving us a thumbs up, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell to ensure you don't miss the next part. Have a great day. This is Omna Sensei signing off.
Never tell a fact that I never stay running. Sipping on facts, damn, no, I got stacks to the left. Taking bitches straight for another cat.